Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce real-time scenario series. Today I am coming with to the another exciting, interesting real-time scenario using the Salesforce flows. So let's jump on to the use case. So here use case is the each account, nothing but the each account ensure that to the at least one of the primary contact account and contact already we have the relationship, right? So when we are creating the any contact, that contact must be a primary contact. So each account must be contain the one primary contact. Okay, so this is the our use case. So in this use case, we have the mainly three scenarios. Mainly we have the three scenarios. So first scenario is the when creating the first contact of the that account. So that account contains this is the first contact. User may not be the selected by the primary contact. By default, we can set to the primary contact that one. We can set to the primary contact that one. So and subsequently we are creating to the another contact for the same account. So if might be user selecting to the it is a primary contact, user select by the primary contact, this newly created contact. So we can uncheck by the existing one, we can unmark to the uncheck by the previous which one is the primary contact. Now that is we are going to set it by the unmarked to the that primary contact. And third condition is the here they are editing by the existing contacts. For example, account contains the three contacts, any one of the contact they are editing, so they are setting to the it is the primary contact. So we can uncheck to the previous which is the primary contact one, previously which one is the primary contact. Now that one we can automatically set to the unmarked. So here we have three categories. First one is the newly creating the contact, means that nothing but the first contact of the that particular account. If user may not be select by the primary contact, we can by default set it by the primary contact. So first contacts, that's why. Subsequently, they are creating by the three or four contacts. Now, in that case, anyone they are set it by the primary contact. So automatically we can set it to the previous contact is the false. Okay. And third one is the already existing. We have the contacts. Out of the existing contacts, anyone is the they are going to mark as the primary contact. We can set it to the previous or existing primary contact uncheck. We need to uncheck by the existing primary contacts. Okay, let's see the demo. So before going to the implementing this, so let's come to the accounts. So let's come to the account. So click on to the accounts. I'm going to create by the new account here. So click on new account. So naming I'm giving to the new primary account. Okay, I'm giving to the new primary account. Okay. So let's come to the here. We click on to the save. This is the account. So now at present, we don't have the any contacts for this account, right? At present, by default, it is the automatically trigger previous one. One flow is the executing. So let's delete this one. So let's assume we don't have the any contacts now. Let's assume we don't have the any contacts. So let's click on to the here new. So let's take it by the here test primary contact one. This is the first contact associated to the this account. So here you have to observe I am not checked by the primary contact. This is the new custom field. Okay, this field I am not checking by the anything here. So this is the first contact, right? 0 at present we have. So let's save this. So now it is created. Now it is created. Let me check it by the, it is the checked or not. Primary contact is the checked or not. This is the first use case. If it is the first contact of the that particular account, if user may not be the selected by the checkbox, so we need to set it by the checkbox for this. It is the primary contact. This is the first contact. Now user can select by the another contact. Okay, simultaneously they are creating to the another contacts also, right? So test primary contact. Second. So now they are selecting by the, this one is the primary contact. This is second use case. So user might be creating the new contact. In that time they are selecting it is the primary contact. Now let's save this. So it is checked by the primary contact. Let me query quickly understanding. Easy to understand the one place by the all. So let's come to the here. I'm querying to the here on the contact object. Select ID comma name comma select ID comma name comma primary contact API name. This is the custom field now from contact filter condition where account ID so this is the our field. So let's take it by the order by name. Easy to understanding purpose, order by name. I am giving to the here descending. Let's execute. See here. This is the newly created, this is existing one. So it is automatically set by the false. We are not set, right? Why? Because while creating the new contact, automatically set by the previous one is the false, means unchecked. Let's create by the another contact, third contact I am creating. So test primary contact 3. So now this is also I'm checking this one. When I'm checking this one, when I click onto the save now, automatically deactivated by the previous one. Automatically set by the false. Deactivated nothing but the false in a checkbox. Let's see. Save. So let's refresh by the here. See here, third contact is the true. Previous one is the automatically set by the false. And next scenario is the third scenario as for the our scenarios. So third scenario. Third scenario is the if editing by the existing that is not currently marked as a primary contact. Now it is set to the primary contacts. So earlier existing contacts, right? It is not a primary, right? Now click on to the edit. While editing time, they are giving to this is the primary contact now. Existing record and earlier it not a primary contact. But now I am setting to it is the primary contact by the second one. Once I click on to the save this one, existing one. What is the existing one? Third one is the existing, right? Primary contacts. Now it is automatically set by the false. So save. Let's refresh by the here. See here, this is marked as a true, this is marked as a false. So this is marked as a true, this is marked as a false. Not a sequence wise, which is the marked as a primary contact earlier one, that is automatically set by the false. That is automatically set by the false. These are the three use cases here. These are the three use cases here. When creating the first contact of that account, it may not be selected by the primary contact, that user. We can set it by the primary contact. Second one is the subsequently we are going to create by the contacts. Subsequent we are creating by the contact to with the same account. If might be user set by the primary contact, that one we can automatically unchecked by the previous one. And third one is the already existing contact. They are not creating any new contact, existing contacts. Okay, anyone they are modifying that one. they can modify and set it by the primary contact. Automatically we need to set it by the unchecked by the previous primary contact. We can uncheck by the previous primary contact. So this is the our use case and output. Let's see the how we are going to implement by the step by step. Okay, let's jump to the Salesforce org. Okay, let's create the first primary contact on the contact object. Let's go to the object manager, come to the contact object, click on to the contact. So come to the fields and relationship. I am creating the one primary contact checkbox here. So click on to the new. So select by the checkbox type, click on to the next. So here primary contact, click on to the next, click on to the next. So click on to the save. So now created by the one primary contact checkbox on the contact object. Now let's come to the create by the flow, how we are going to implement it by the flow for this. So come to the home, come to the flows, click on to the flows. So we are going to create by the new flow, click on to the new flow. So select by the start from scratch, click on next, select by the record triggered flow, click on to the create. So we are going to implement it by the flow on the contact object. Why? When we are creating the contact object, we are going to identify it is the primary contact or not, right? So that's why here we are creating by the entry object is the contact object, select by the contact, either record creation or updation time. That's why I am selecting by the record create or updation time. And especially each contact is the associated to the account, that contacts only we have to identify. So that's why here we have to check it by the condition account ID not equals to null. Each contact is the must be associated to the account. Which account is the associated? That is the next step. So each and every contact is the associated account. Then only we have to consider as a primary contact. That is our use case. So account ID does not equals to or sorry is null false. Is null false means it is the selected by the account ID, means it is associated to the any one of the account ID. Okay, so is null false. So up to here first we have to save this. Here we are going to give it by the manage primary contacts. So let's click on save. After that, here we have to check it by the condition. For example, it is the new record or existing record, any primary contacts associated to the current triggered contact. Okay, so that's why first of all we have to check it by the get records. Either first record or second record or third contact, we are not assume right. First of all, we have to check it by the this account is the associated to the any primary contact. So existing any primary contacts is the available for this account. So that's why here first we have to check it by the get existing primary contact. So let's take it by the here object is the same object, contact object only we are checking. So condition is the account is the associated to the which contact is the triggered, that contact, so that account related contact information, that account related contact information. So account ID equals to record triggered. So we have to get it by the this this account related contacts only. If you not given by this condition means any other contacts also have the primary, that is also be written. But as our main motto is the which contact is the trigger, that contact account related primary contacts, right? Which contact is the triggering, that related account associated to the any existing primary contacts. So that's why here we have to specific to the this account related primary contacts. So account ID equals to this one record triggered, and primary also we need to check it. Primary contact equals to true. Maybe false, right? That's why we have to filter by the only existing primary contact. Each account contains the 3 or 4 contacts. Out of the 4, we don't know which one is the primary. So we need to get it by that record only. No need for the primary is the false, that records we don't want. Which record is the primary, that record we want to here. Okay, that's why here I am taking by the primary contact is equals to true. So save it here. So now come to the here, we have to identify it is the return the data or not. Decision of primary contact is find existing primary contact. If it is find the existing primary contact, for example, okay, for example, we are find the existing contact. So how we have to proceed, how to identify it is exist or not. If it is written by the data, we can find the existing one primary contact. If it is written the data, how to identify the returns the data? Get existing record ID. If it is written the ID means it is find the existing. Otherwise, if it is not written the any value this one, we are not find the any existing primary contact. So equals to ID is null. False. Is null false means it is find the existing primary contact. If it is written the true means it's not find the existing primary contact. Now it is finding. So is find existing primary contact. So that's why we are coming to the in this decision path. And one more path is that I am creating if it is not found. Is not find existing primary contact. How to identify it is not find means same. Get record, contact ID, is null, true. Is null means it is not written the any record. So is null means it is the not find the any existing record. Not find the any existing record. Up to here, click on save. So first of all, when the triggering to the particular contact, let me explain you clearly. So this is the account. Okay, this is my account ACC1. This account already associated to the contact 1 and primary contact is the true. Now I am creating the second contact. Let's assume you are creating the second contact, okay, with the primary equals to true. Primary contact is equals to true. You are creating the second contact. Let's assume first. Okay, when you are creating the with the same account, another contact with true means, so let's come to the here, it is checking based on the which one. First of all, account ID. This account ID associated contacts. So this account associated contact, it will be the return. It will be the return means 2 we have. This is current one. We are now current to value. This is current to triggered record. This one. So you can ignore when it is the creating time, our flow will be the executed. This account associated contact is the one is there, right? It is written the true also there, right? Might be we have one more contact also. For example, con1 PC equals to false, con2 PC equals to true. Now third one we are working. Currently we are working on to the third one. Con3 PC. Now I am giving to the true. So when I am giving to the true, so based on this is also related to the same account. Now as of the our requirement get records means it returns by these two records. Existing two records it's returning. But my condition is the which one is the primary contact true. This one or this one. We don't know, right? So that's why here we have to the filter the primary contact is equals to true. Means it is written by the second contact only. Second contact only. Okay. Now here this is written the data, right? This is written the second contact decision we have to identify. So is find the true. Contact is the we are finding now. Second contact ID we are finding the true. That's why it is written to the is null is the false. Means we are finding the contact. So after that, our motto is the existing contact. Now we have to make it as the false this one. Why? Because now we are giving to the third contact is the true. That's why we can make it as to the false for the existing contact. So that's why here we have to assigning false existing contact value we have to assigning. Set to primary contact false. Set to primary contact false. Okay. So now here we have to check it by the existing contact. This is right. It is written by the second contact. Existing contact dot primary. Once again get dot primary contact equals to false. So we are setting the false, right? Now it will be the set by the false now. Now it is set by the false now. Okay. Now it is set by the false. Now we have to update it by this value, right? So that's why here update record, update the records, update contact. So which one we have to update? Used by the ID. Already we have the data, right? Just you have to select by the user IDs. So here get record. Which record is the we are getting? We are associated to the false, right? Now it is the updated. Let's save here. Okay, let me rediscussion. So each account contains the one or more records. For example, already we have the two contacts. Third contact I am processing now. When we are processing the third contact time, it is the true. So this query is the return. This get record is the return to the second contact. Let's assume. So it is the true, right? Let's come to the this one is find the existing primary contact. Now we have to set it by the false. False. Then we are updating by the this contacts. This is for the existing contacts purpose. So if it is not found by the any, for example, this is the let's assume new record at present not associated to the any contacts. Now this is the contact one PC. I might be give it by the true or false. This is the first contact not associated to the any contacts, not associated to the any contacts to the this account, right? Might be, maybe, may not be give it by the condition, right? This is first one. When creating the first contact, user maybe, may not be select by the primary contact. By default, we need to set it as a primary. So it is not associated to the any contacts, right? So that means this is not written by the any data. That's why it's come to the in this loop. It's not written the any data means is null equals to true. So at that time, we can just set it by the record trigger. Which record is the triggering? So set primary contact to true. Set to primary contact true. So now here we have to map it by the which record is the triggered, that record we are mapping to the true. Maybe, may not be, if they are selecting or not, that is the next step, true. So this is the first contact's purpose. This is the new contact. It is not associated, or if it is not find for the any existing primary contacts, let's come to the in this loop. Which record is the triggering? That record we are set it as a true. So now here it is automatically set by the default true. Default true. Now if you created by the another contact with the same account with PC equals to true, what happened? It is written the existing one of the primary contact. Now come to the this decision path. It is find the existing one. So here existing one set it by the false. Okay, set it by the false. Why? Because here we are set it by the false and updated by the existing contact. We are updating by the existing contacts. Let me, if you want to clear here, rename it by the here update existing contact. Let's save. Let's activate. Let's see the output. Let's come to the accounts. I'm going to create by the one new account. Click on new. So Abhigya primary account. Just I'm giving to the account, creating by just one account here. So at present, we don't have the any contacts associated to the this account. This contact account not associated to the any contacts. Now I am creating by the new contact. This is the first contact, right? Let's say assume this is the first contact, primary contact one. So user maybe may not be given by the true this one. Maybe may not be, they can give it by the this primary contact to true. So it is considered as a first record, right? So that's why as for the our flow, it's come to the in this path. It's not find by the any existing contacts. That's why come to this part. By default, it's set it by the true. See, let's see. So I'm going to save this. I'm not checking by the this is the primary contact, but automatically it is set it by the true. Let's open in this new tab. See here, it is automatically set by the true. So this is the our first criteria. When creating the first contact of account, this user may not be selected by the primary contact. By default, the contact will be set as a primary contact. This is the first condition that would be the done. That would be the done. So now we are going to create the second contact of the same account. Primary contact to. Now I am going to select by the this is as a primary contact. If you are selecting as it is a primary contact, let's save this. So as for our requirement, previous one is the automatically set to the false. Let's open to the another tab this. So this is the, if we are checking by the true also, it is set by the false. I will let you why it is. Again, this one also we can refresh first contact. This is also be the make as a false. These two is the make as a false. Easy to understanding purpose. I will take by the query in the developer console. Let me show you with clearly. select ID, comma, name, comma, primary contact, newly created custom field from from contact, where account ID equals to newly our created account ID, order by name. We have to easy understanding purpose. I'm giving order by name, descending. Let's query this. See here, both will be the setted by the false. Both will be the setted by the false. So why it is setted by the false by the both? If you try to create the third one also, click on to the new. So primary contacts is the 3. Now I am setting by this is as a true. Let's come to the here, refresh by the grid. But third one also be the set it as a false. Why it is set it by the false? Very careful to observe. What is the our flow? We are written the flow on the contact object. We are returning the flow on the contact object. Actually, you are creating the third contact. Clearly observe. Third contact with true you are creating. You are creating the third contact with true, right? So when you are creating the third contact, this flow will be the executed. It is written by the second contact here. It is written to the second contact, existing contact. Okay. So when it is executed by the second contact, it is true means it is set it by the false. And here updating the contact. Here is the our main point. Here updating the contact. Now when it is the updating the contact, again executed by the flow. So what we are given record creation time or updation time, right? When the third contact execution time, our flow will be the executed from the third to second contact we are updating. When it is the updating on which object? Contact object. So again executed by the contact object, it is returned to the which one is the true? Third one is the true now. Right. It is written third record. Why? Because it is set by the false, that is done. When executed by the second contact, it is get by the from the database to it is the return true. It is the return true. So when it is the return true means again it's find by the existing record, again set by the here it will also be the false. Actually it is the recurring to the triggers, recurring to the flows, recurring to the flow. Same object we are writing now, flow we are updating by the same object, creating the same object. So this restriction purpose, this is the evading purpose. So initially we have to check it which record is the triggering, which record is the triggering. See here that record created date. Created date does not equals to record trigger date. Record triggered created date. Based on this we can some restrict here I will show you. Created which record is the creating, both are not equals to same, then only we have to execute. Both are we have to execute. Okay. So now let's save this. Why this condition I'm added, I will let you once I will show you the output. Click on to the activate. So let's delete by the existing all the contacts. I'm deleting by the existing the 3 contacts. Refresh by the grid. We don't have the any contacts, 0. So now user first contact is the creating. PON1 PC. They are not giving anything means false. Let's assume false. They are not mentioned by the anything, either true or false. They are not mentioned. This is the first contact. Let's create the first contact. Refresh by the page. Here all will be the gone. We deleted, right? So here you have to observe 0, contact 1, primary contact 1. So I'm not checked by the anything. So click on save. Let's query quickly. We can check it. So it is marked as a true, means it is the primary contact is the true. It is checked. I'm creating by the now second contact. Now I am checking by the true. Now I am creating by the second contact. This is already set by the true. Contact to primary contact I am giving by the true now. So when I am giving the true means this is the created date based we have to filter now. So it is only written by the previous record. It is given by the previous record. Here then come to the here executed by the set it as a false now. So let's create save. Again both will be the false. Again both will be the false. Why? Because means I will show you that is also be the reason we are activated, right? So it is returned to the created date not equals to means it's true. Again it will be set by the true. So one more condition also here we can add it. Once I will add it, I will show you the why it is the triggered by the false. So let's created by the find by the existing record is the null and current record is the true only. Then we have to execute record triggering record primary contact equals to true. So this is the added by the under the decision. Existing primary contact is null false means we can find by the existing contact and current to triggering record is the true. Then only we have to enter by the this path. Then only we have to enter by this path. Let me show you why it is I'm taking by the here. Activate. So again I'm deleting by the existing contacts. Now I'm going to create by the new contact again. So click on new. So let's take it by the here primary contact first one. So I am not selecting by the anything here. Click on to the save. Refresh by the here. It's set it by the fall true. Now I'm going to create by the second one. True. Click on save. See here, second one is the true, third one is first one is the false. Now it is not updated by. It is not updated to the false. Let's create the third one. Then I will explain to the one more time. So create by the third one. Let me refresh. Third is the true. Third is the true. So here we have to observe why it is happening now when we are added by the condition. So let present first to contact one PC. We are not mentioned by the anything. So that's why it's come to the this condition directly. Condition directly condition by the this condition set it by the true. This is the first contact scenario. Second contact PC you are making as a true primary contacts. Now when you are giving by the second contact is the true. So this will return the existing contact. Contact one will be the return. Let's come to the here contact one and here we have to decision. This is the existing primary contact we have to find current to contact also. Current to triggering the contact also be the true, right? This is the current one true, existing one also we have the finding. So that's why let's come to the this path. Existing contact is the set it by the false. Existing contact set it by the false. So now it is updated by the existing contact. Once it is updated by the existing contact, again trigger the our flow. Again trigger the our flow. Now this is the current record. Now we can change it by this is the current record. Why? Because it is updated na current record. When it is the current record, it is returned to the second contact. Why? Because it is updated to the false, right? We can set it by the false. It is returned to the second contact. Now this condition is the satisfied. Again come to the decision. Primary contact is the null, means it is the existing contact is the return true. And if you not mention by this condition, current record is the true. If you not mention the condition, it is updated by the existing contact as a false. If you not mention this condition, so what happened? This will be the executed again, set it by the this one also be the false. This one also be the set by the false. So that's why we have to restricted by the here. If you true given here, so current record is the false, right? Which one does this? Current record is the false. So that's why it will not be the executed, directly come to the default outcome. Directly come to the default outcome. That's why here we have the added by the condition. That's why we are added by the condition to the here. Okay. And that to which record is the triggering? That record we don't want to execute by the, that's why created date record, created date does not equals to the earlier one. So this is also we have to mention by the record here. Which record is the triggering? Na? That record created date, existing record created date we don't have. So that's why we are given by the conditions here. So very careful. This is the recurring flow. Why? Because we are updating by the same contact, executing the same contact, again updating by the same on the contact object. That's why it is executing by the recurring. That's why we are making the false by default. We can make it as the false. Okay. Now let's come to the next thing. So here existing contacts. Third condition is the mainly this third condition purpose only we are given by the created date. So here if the an existing contacts currently marked as a true. So existing contacts, this is I am going to make it as the true. Second contact I make it as a true means automatically I want to set the false for the existing one. I want to set it by the false to the existing one. So I make it as a true this one. Click on to the save rows. Click on to the refresh grid. See here, it is automatically set by the false. I can show you directly in the records also, but if you are clearly understanding purpose. Now if you go to the click on to the edit here. So now you can mark it as a first one. This is the first one. In the query, first one is the false, right? Now here I am checking by the true here. Click on save. Let me come to the here, refresh by the grid. This one true. This can make it as the false. This can make it as the false. So this is the third condition. So if might be existing contact, you can mark as a true. So we can again, which contact is the true earlier one, which contact is the primary contact earlier, we have to set it by the false. So this is the overall of the flow implementation, little bit complexity this one. Be careful to understand and practice this one. And this is the main motto of the use case is the each account ensure the only one primary contact. Each account mainly ensure the one primary contact. So when we are creating the first contact, we don't know it is the first or second contact. Based on the conditions, we can identify this account is the not associated to the any existing primary contacts. By default, we can set it as to the primary contact. If subsequently creating by the some more contacts to the with respect to of the same account, if user select it is the primary contact, we can set it as by the false to the existing. We can set it to the or unmarked to the existing primary contact. This is the second condition. Third one is the already we have the contacts. We can select by any one of the contact is the primary contact. That nothing but the set to true to false to true. False to true. So when we are setting by the that contact is the primary contact now, existing primary contact we can set it as a false. We can unmark to the existing primary contact. So that is the third use case. Okay, so based on that use case here we are developed by the flow. This flow is the recurring. So that's why we have to careful to restrict which records you want to update, which records you want to insert. So let me, first condition is the account is the associated to the contact or not. First we have to check it. Which contact is the trigger, that contact is the associated to the account or not. If it is associated, let's come to the next step. We have to identify the existing any contacts or not. Existing any primary contacts or not, this associated to the account. Created date based to, we have to check it which record is the triggering na, that record based we have to check it. Why? Because means this will be the executed by the after trigger. Okay, so after record creation time, so that's why we have to check it by the previous one. Created date does not equals to which one is the creating. So now here if you are triggering by the second contact means it is the written by the previous one. Created date not equals to the previous one, it is written which one is the earlier one. Okay, after that here we have to take it by the decision. So if it is defined by the existing record and that too current one is the true only, we want to execute. Current one is the false means why recurring type flow, right? We are discussing the recurring the flow. So current record is the true only. So current record is the true only, we have to execute, then we can set it by the false for the existing one. Existing by the existing one, we can set it by the false one. This is the current triggering, current record. This is once it is the set it by the false, updated by the contact. Once updated by the again, this is the current record now. So current record true only, we need to set it by the existing record is the false. Otherwise we don't need. Why? Because this is the false, right? No need to set it by the existing record as a false. We can keep it as the existing record is the true. Why? Because this is the false. So that's why this condition we are added by the here. This condition we have the added by the here. So this is the real time scenario. Okay. I hope it's clear how it was implemented. Just I am taking by the standard objects, account and contact as for the your business requirement. You can understand implemented by the custom objects as well. Okay. Try to understand the business requirement. Okay. Just I can't reveal to the custom objects names. So we have to utilize to the standard objects name. Okay. I hope it's clear how it was the implemented. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for the more real-time scenarios.